my screen.
I see blackness.
Yeah,
black. Yeah, that's what you should see.
Okay.
Black.
Just black.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, 5 seconds. Here we go. Quiet. From tornadoes to hurricanes, blizzards, and everything in between, you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast. The Stormfront Freaks are former television meteorologist Mark Massaro, collegiate senior in atmospheric science Brady Harris, digital meteorologist and weather producer for The Lift on the Weather Channel app, Dina Knightley, freelance on-camera meteorologist and former Weather Channel meteorologist Kim Cunningham, and I'm your announcer and Skywarn Network radio operator Mark Johnson. Now, here's the moderator of the Stormfront Freaks podcast, amateur storm spotter Bill Johnson.
All right, well, welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast on your listening and viewing device. This is the Stormfront Freaks podcast, but if you're watching the video, we're actually, we call it Stormfront Freaks Raw, because what you're getting is you're just getting the raw video of us all getting together, having a good time, and recording the more professional audio, right?
Sort of.
So if you're watching us, we call it raw. We don't edit any of this crap out. You're getting everything. So the bad news is you're getting everything. None of the real, yeah. And the good news is you're getting everything, right? So regardless, thank you for watching or listening to the show. We appreciate it. If this is episode 28, by the way, and our guest, we call our guest out of the bullpen because we got a special guest tonight, is storm chaser photojournalist Conor Clancy. We'll also be discussing storm chaser safety certifications and, of course, our Weather Fools, weather resources, and more. So let's go ahead and introduce our team first, find out what everybody's drinking for our happy hour, and we'll start up in Minnesota with our Skywarn radio coordinator, MJ.
Hey, good evening, everyone. It's feeling kind of summery up here in Minnesota today, so I've got what I call the summer nectar. It's a vodka sour.
Oh, all right.
And that's new. I don't think we've had that on the show yet.
That's a new one.
I don't think so.
Vodka sour is definitely new. And I'm, feeling a little summery as well. I'm actually mixing it up a little bit. I started with what I had the last episode, which is a Liney Summer Shandy. And I've got one. This is my standby drink for a little bit later in the show. But right now, I'm going back to my good old college days of drinking like wine coolers. And this is a Seagram's Calypso Colada. It is pineapple and coconut. It tastes like soda. And in all honesty, the alcohol content is pretty much like soda, too. It only comes in at 3.7.
Is it like a pina colada? Is it like a pina colada?
It's coconut. Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah.
It's delicious, but it's like soda.
Would you like an umbrella with that?
Phil, people in college drink Natty Lights pretty much exclusively nowadays.
Very possible.
They're carbonated. I don't know when you went to college because
that was back in my day.
Wow.
That was back in my day. All right. And I got to quick say this because I wanted to use this moment. So I had a chance this past weekend to meet our friend William Cole with Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV.
Right.
So I was down in Oklahoma. I met William. He showed me the studio and everything. It was awesome. Sorry you couldn't make it, Brady. But get this. So we were talking about how, I asked him if he was getting any comments from his viewers. Like, are you getting any comments? Good show, things they want to see different. He's like, no, it's funny because we get lots of people watching and listening to us. And we were talking about how, we're not getting a lot of comments from people. So we don't know if that's good or bad. Yeah. We just know a lot of people are watching and listening. Yeah, I know. Because most of the time people comment, it's because they want to bitch about something. But we want good comments. So number one, it's my plea to our listeners and viewers. Send us an email. If you're watching us on Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV, send William an email and let us know. Do you like the show? What it is you like about the show? Because that helps us. It helps encourage us to, or maybe find if there's something else we can be doing that you guys would like. But anyway, I said, we get all this stuff, and I was talking about YouTube. I said we get the best viewer comments from those that watch us live on YouTube in the chat box. And he goes, you know what's funny? He says, my mom loves you guys, and she watches you guys on YouTube.
Thanks,
Oh,
Mom.
boy.
Thank you.
There you
So
go.
I'm thinking two things. I'm thinking, number one, it's funny that William's mom chooses to watch us on YouTube and not her own son's app.
True.
Right? I think that's funny. So hi, William's mom. But number two, I'm worried, are we becoming the podcast your mom loves to watch?
There you go.
Because it's like
Great.
everybody's mom loves us.
Great. Now
So,
you're going to start
it's-
swearing, aren't you? I can tell.
Because you know, Phil, as you plead for people to encourage us, there's also people out there who are going, "Don't encourage them."
Yeah.
That's true.
Be afraid.
All right, so anyway, I had to share that story. Dina is our weather producer with the Weather Channel down in Atlanta. What are you drinking tonight?
All right. I'm excited about this drink. I've been planning this drink for a few months because
A few months?
Yes. It is
She's
in
been making it.
celebration of the
Wow.
greatest movie ever being released tomorrow. Can you guess? It's
Oh,
wonderful.
Sharknado.
if I could spin around right now in this room, I would.
It's called the Wonder Woman.
Oh,
It's in my Wonder
Yeah.
Woman glass, and I got a Wonder Woman shirt.
Oh,
You're lucky I didn't show up in the outfit
that would have been great.
because I have it. My
I
husband's
dare
like,
you.
You're not going to wear the outfit, are you?
I
I'm like,
dare
well,
you.
now I'm not.
You should have.
But it's got it. Like I planned this. I went to the liquor store. I bought all this stuff. It's got like peach schnapps. It's got cranberry juice, pineapple juice, a melon liqueur, and they have all kinds of Wonder Woman drinks, like the Golden Lasso. And I'm like, oh my god, yes!
Dina, I actually heard they're going to actually cancel the premiere tomorrow because they got
Shut
such
up.
bad initial
That's
reviews. It's got to go into reshoots.
Shut
So
your
it's-
dirty mouth.
It's not,
Shut it.
the
All
preliminary.
Don't make me come down there.
All right, then we got Maz. Maz is our former TV meteorologist in Cincinnati. What are you drinking tonight, Maz?
Is that because I was drinking too much? Is that why I'm farmer? Is that what you're saying? No, I forgot my I want to be like Phil shirt, and so I'm doing
They
the
don't make
summer
those. That's why.
standing all liney time.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah. So now you switched up on me. I'm like, okay, I got to get more
Very
stuff.
good. All right, yeah, that's fine. And then we got Brady, our recent weather grad in Columbus, Ohio. Brady, are you drinking tonight? If so, what
You know,
are
I am. I had a couple beers earlier. Went to Art City. That was pretty lit.
All right.
He's all
No,
He's
I
pretty lit.
was. You know what? I was.
Sober up, man.
O'Doul's.
Now, I feel like I'm the most classy one here because I'm having a Tennessee honey whiskey, Jack Daniels, in a
that's cool.
wine glass, which I don't know why. That was the only glass I could find, but it's
It's like 5 shots.
Yeah, that is a lot of shots. I didn't realize.
Wonder
I was gonna-
Woman drinks still better, though. I'm telling you.
It probably is.
I think that would get the
This is
vote
class.
tonight.
It's like a
but
James Bond drink.
I will.
Yeah.
We're gonna, Connor. I'm gonna find out what your. This isn't your formal introduction, Connor, but I know you're joining us with Happy Hour tonight. So you are up in Philadelphia. What are you drinking?
I'm not drinking the F5 IPA from Coop Brewing Company because I forgot to actually buy that when I was in Oklahoma City. I'm repping Southeastern Pennsylvania tonight, and I'm drinking Delco Lager by 2SP Brewing Company, which is, like its name says, brewed in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. So, and I'm using my Archer drinking game glass.
Oh, Archer.
So, definitely
Cool
classing
name.
it up tonight.
Cool name, by the way. Connor McLeod of the McLeod clan.
Now, Connor, are you sure it's not Delaware County, Ohio? Because that's actually the county I live in. So maybe
It's
it's made in both counties.
I'm Aston, Pennsylvania. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a PA thing.
Well, let's do this. Let's get to your formal introduction, Connor, because we always want to talk to our guests. They don't want to hear us. So, Dina, are you ready to introduce? Our
I'm
guest?
ready. All right.
Go ahead.
Tonight we welcome Conor Clancy. He is a photographer and storm chaser photojournalist who is based in the Philadelphia area, and may be one of the only photographers who holds a BA in theater production and management. Most recently, he has been working on a photojournalism book called Behind the Bear's Cage about the often misunderstood storm chaser. Plus, he's been riding along for the last 2 years. Initially, he began focusing on live music photography as a music photographer, but later branched out to explore portraits, travel photography, and storms. So, Connor, how'd you go from music photographer to storm chasing photographer?
That's a great question. It doesn't really seem like there's enough regret in there, does it? It came. I hit a period of time where I felt like I needed to change something, and I had kind of always. I was someone who just really concentrated on things that I knew I did well, and I didn't really take a leap before this. And I knew I wanted to get into photojournalism, and I thought, what's the best way to do this? There is no best way. So I was inspired by a New York Times piece about a day. They run this every once in a while. It's called A Day in the Life. And I thought, who would I want to investigate? Like, whose day did I want to know more about? And I said, oh, storm chasers. It was kind of immediate because I've always been into storms since I was a kid. And so I quit my job. Really, just a whole series of really smart things to do.
That's bold.
It was one of those things where I did it and went, oh, I did that. I quit my job. I devoted all of my time to researching and developing this project. And I sent a few emails out, and the only person that actually responded and said, hey, yeah, we would love to have this new person just ride around was Chris Sanner, who I think you guys know a little bit. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah, so it started last spring, and as I got more, it's like an onion. The storm chasing community is like an onion, and I peeled all these layers, and I thought, wow, this is really interesting. Nothing's been done about this. No one's really like gone in depth from an outsider's perspective into what the storm chasing community is now. So that being said, let me ask you, Connor, what shocked you? What was one of the things that shocked you the most since you've started doing this about the storm chasing community or
their diet?
Their diet.
Just kidding.
Chris eats a lot of Subway. The Tornado Titans eat a lot of Subway, and trying to find healthy options is definitely interesting. I think the fact that, they don't always see a tornado is one of the things that people don't realize. That's not really, if that's your only goal going out chasing a storm, then you're going to be disappointed a lot. There are a lot. There's this whole microcosm. The storm chasing community has got their own kind of like set of politics and then own set of rules, and seeing the way they communicate with one another was probably the most shocking thing, because an outsider won't see that. Or I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think people are surprised. So I know people are definitely interested in that. So it's probably the kind of little world they have, kind of connected by the hub of Twitter.
So Connor, kind of walk us through how do you get in touch with these people? How do you do you go on storm chases with them? Do you what do you focus on, really interviewing them? Do you focus on interviewing what they think about storms, or do you focus on kind of a little bit of both? Like how do you kind of gather your information about the community?
The Tornado Titans, that was the first time I went out, and that was all me just emailing. I Googled. I knew very little about the storm chasing community. I did send an email to Jeff Duda of Storm Track, because I had purchased a book by Jeff Vasquez, the Storm Chasing Handbook, and I thought, well, I'll read this. And he was the first one that kind of told me that, you're probably not going to really get anyone who's going to want to just let you into their car, not really knowing you don't have any credentials. They don't want you coming in and invading their space, which I understood, because that's totally a valid thing. But it was something about the email that I sent to Chris, and Chris emailed me back, and I happened to pick the one weekend where it was active. So I was, with that, able to have some sort of product to show people who might be interested. And through that, I through the Tornado Titans, through their web presence, and they were a big help in kind of getting the word out. And as I planned on coming out the next season, I had some people who had expressed interest in joining, and then it's just whoever I meet, whenever I meet someone on the road, I kind of I introduce myself. And most people now are like, "Oh, we'd love to have you come chase with us." So a normal day is usually I'm trying at least to get on a chase with everyone. It didn't really work out that way this season because there weren't very many storms to chase.
No.
So it's a very organic thing. I get in the car, I kind of sit in the back, ask them a few questions about what got them interested in storms in the first place, how long they've been chasing. And from there, it just kind of opens up a natural dialogue where you can kind of tell what their process is, how they get to where they're going, what their opinions are. If they ever don't want anything on the record, they, I'll say, it can be like, strike that from the record. I'm usually pretty good about knowing what somebody wouldn't want printed. Not that there's anything like horrible. No one's like admitting to anything terrible or anything.
Yeah, one time that I hit that little kid on the road.
You weren't supposed to tell people about that, Phil. But yeah, so it's about kind of getting into their mindset and kind of how they think and trying to make everyone as comfortable as possible and hoping that they don't even know that I'm taking pictures. And this last week, I realized that quite a few people did not realize I was actually taking pictures. So I was, I did my job right. Phil being one of them, because Phil was chasing with us, and I told him yesterday, I said, "Oh yeah, you're part of the project now." He said,
I saw you taking pictures.
A beautiful face.
I wasn't used to it yet. Hey, so let me ask you this. So you were talking about your goals to find out, as Dina said, with the project, is what's misunderstood about chasers. So I guess give us some ideas. What do you feel to this point anyway with your experience? What do you think's misunderstood?
I think we're going to go into it a little bit later too. I think there's just recently there's been a lot of bad press about the storm chasing community, and some of it is because of most of it is because of a few choice people. They act up, they get featured on national news, and the people that I've spoken to here on the East Coast, even just trying to get them when I was doing my Indiegogo campaign, a lot of people said to me, "Well, they're crazy. Why would you want to chase a storm? I don't understand. Why would you? That's just crazy. You're putting yourself in danger." And I had to sit there and explain, no, some of them really, they do this because it's their passion, it's their hobby. There's a group, the North Texas Storm Spotters, shout out. They use what they get in the field, all their material, all their art, they use that to hold community events and educate kids on storm preparedness and severe weather preparedness. And it's about trying to offset all the negative press that the storm chasing community has received in recent years with the positive things, these things that aren't really necessarily ever kind of highlighted.
Speaking of hobbies, are those bobbleheads behind you?
They are pop vinyl bobbleheads. They're very dusty, but yes, I've got the whole. I've got A New Hope is on the bottom, and then The Force Awakens is on the top.
Okay, good. I was gonna say you better be a Star Wars guy.
Oh yeah. It's new. Yeah, and they've got the little things there. I'm definitely a Star Wars guy. Yeah, definitely.
Nice. What's your favorite movie?
There is a right answer.
Careful, you might lose audience.
I'm gonna say The Empire Strikes Back. I'm just gonna say it. I really like The Force Awakens. So.
That's safe. That's a safe answer.
Cool.
It's also when they saved Han Solo from Jabba the Hutt.
Yes, and
that was Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, but I remember waiting forever.
Dina.
Save Han.
Return of the Jedi.
Disappointed, Dina.
They tried to save.
He's good looking. He gets saved. I'm sorry.
Until episode 7.
Not so much anymore. Yeah, not so much anymore.
All right.
The reason why they killed him off.
I want some more storm stories here.
Just saying.
I'm curious, Connor. Give us so this was your second year.
Yes.
Let me ask you this: Are you going back again next year? Are you continuing this project next year?
It's really I do want to. I mean, now that I'm officially saying it right now, my end goal is to write a book. I definitely need more need more content right now. Just seeing as I just got back yesterday. I want to. I don't know. I definitely won't have the time. I won't have the month and a half that I had this time to do it next year. But yeah, I definitely do want. That is definitely a goal, is to go back and get a new, get some new perspective. Go somewhere else.
So give me an idea. So what was the best storm so far? Was it last year, this year that you've come across?
It wasn't this year. It was definitely not this year. It was my first storm. It was the Leota, Kansas mothership supercell.
Wow.
You never forget your first storm, I'm telling you.
Especially when it's that was breathtaking. I walked out and it's just in this open field. There's nothing there. Tornado warning, literally population affected with like 3.
Oh my
You guys.
Yeah, basically all the chasers that were there.
Yeah.
Just stepping onto that field and looking up, and all you could see was this monster just cloud that looked, it looked so idyllic, and it was so hard to believe that something so beautiful could be so destructive. And it was at that moment, walking onto that field, that I went, "Now I get it. I understand why they do what they do," because it was just, I can still see it if I close my eyes. Nothing like that this year. Everything that this year was a little subpar.
Disappointing ever since.
Now, Connor, do you ever feel like, because sometimes when I guess it's a little different for me because I don't have all the gear, but when I go and video a storm or like photograph a storm, I realize like sometimes I'm missing out. Do you ever find out that you miss out kind of on the best parts of the storm because you're taking pictures and stuff like that? I've noticed that, and that's kind of a bummer sometimes for me. How do you deal with that?
No, he's in the right place though.
It's interesting because when I do music photography, that's the one thing that I will say is that I'll have artists ask me how the show was, and I'll say, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I was not present at all.
Yeah.
I was taking pictures. The thing, I don't know if it's because the mindset of me going out when I'm storm chasing is to get the reactions of the storm chasers as they're looking at the storm, but I've always felt that I am really present. And I think it's just because it takes such a long time for the storm to form. But I don't ever feel like I'm missing out on anything. The only thing probably would be the first tornado that I was able to see that was visible for more than a second, which was there was a tornado near Memphis, Texas last May. And it kind of was this like shock where you're not expecting to see it. I wasn't expecting it. It had taken so long for that storm to cycle. And then all of a sudden this funnel drops and then there's a tornado on the ground. And I just looked at it like this. And
Intense.
I expected it to feel a lot different. People were like, what does it feel? And I said, it's like, when you watch a video of a tornado, like, yeah, it was like that, but it was real life. So 2 miles away from the tornado. We weren't very close, but it was just that you're like, whoa, there it is. It's so quick. But I never feel like, so far at least, I kind of feel actually more present than I normally feel, which is probably better in the end, because I'm kind of also trying to listen to and gauge what is going on with the actual people, because that's something I have to write about later, and I have a terrible memory.
It feels different if you're like 10 yards from the tornado too. Just like
it
hurts.
Maybe a little bit.
Hurts.
Not definitely. Yeah, I would imagine that it probably sounds different. Probably feels a lot different too physically.
So have you learned a lot about weather since you started all this?
I'm starting to pick some things up. I texted Chris, it was last summer, because our storm season is around now, except for this year, Pennsylvania had tornadoes in February. So I was like, oh, here we go. I was like, oh, tornado warning. And he was like, you have the power. I'm like, no. I don't know. I don't think my brain will ever really comprehend the amount of knowledge that these people have to forecast. And all you meteorologists, I can't even, I'm just bad at math to begin with. So just looking at all these numbers, I'm kind of like, I get some of the concepts, and I definitely.
You don't actually have to do the math, though. Don't worry.
Connor, I've got plenty of books from school that I could send you. I was planning on burning them, but I could just send them.
If you're gonna burn them, I will take them, because there's definitely. I would love to at least get a little bit better of a hold on it. So I don't.
Connor, you wouldn't believe how much math goes on behind the scenes, and how much of my classes was math. Actually, just learning, doing these calculations. That's
derive the omega equation, Brady.
Really,
right now.
Oh my gosh, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Even the wind, like the wind and like the wind directions and all that stuff. Like, that's how it is. Like those skew tees that look like people look at it and go, looks like we're gonna have a tornado. Like, you looked at a picture and that's telling you that's interesting. I'm looking at a picture.
They're drinking Philly beer first, and they're going, I see.
Connor, keep looking into that stuff,
Dirty
because
water.
when you can look at a skew tee and you can be like, you look at it and you just, you can tell that it's going to be a big day. That's really cool, and to be able to do that, it's easier than you'd think. It really is.
I'll take your word for it. Although somebody once told me that about knitting, and then after that said, "Were you dropped on your head as a child? What about this don't you understand?" So there's definitely
and QTs.
Yeah, I mean, if I couldn't take up knitting, the fact that I was told, even like Brady telling me that he thinks that I could possibly one day pick it up, you never
definitely
know.
could. Are you kidding me, Connor?
I hope so. I hope one day I don't just see a picture.
Pretty soon you're going to be there with your phone and all the weather apps that we even show on our show, and you'll be looking at radar and looking at the cells, that's a hook echo.
And that stuff I can kind of get. The only thing I kept pointing to velocity return, and no, that's not it. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, I thought that's where I was looking. No, you're looking here. Like, oh, okay.
All right. So I've got one last question regarding your book. What's the thing at this point? Because obviously it sounds like you still got some work to do, but what is it at this point, Connor, that you're most proud of? Going, you know what? I've discovered that, or this is something that I've found. This is going to be great.
I mean, I've got the proud on a personal level is that for somebody like me who made a lot of excuses to just like at the end of this time to look back and go, wow, I did all of this just myself. I mean, that was a personal victory for me. I think just it's so early in the game, but I think that knowing that there are storm chasers out there who are trying to educate the public, and knowing that I'm bringing more visibility to that, and kind of in a way bringing the general public this knowledge that this is happening and people on the East Coast think they're crazy, kind of shifting their perspective and telling a story. I think that's what I'm most proud of, that I'm finally doing what I felt. The reason I fell in love with photography in the first place was storytelling. So going back to that, I feel like that's a victory. Also getting to see storms.
Well, yeah, I mean, Connor, I think what you're doing is awesome, because honestly, I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there, not only about the storm chaser community, but about meteorologists in general. And I think they need someone to kind of be their advocate and kind of tell the real story, because so many people just don't know what they're talking about because they have never been in those kind of situations. And they just assume that these people do it for pure joy, or they just assume that these people are crazy. And it's just like, they're real people, and they, ultimately, a lot of what they do can help, public safety in more ways than people, will ever realize.
And they need somebody to bring beer too. I'm just saying. So.
Yeah.
But don't drink and drive, because that's illegal.
It is.
That's right.
That's not. And I
Wait, what?
Actually,
Tiger Woods found that out the hard way.
By the way, apparently, I'm no shade, Oklahoma, no shade to you. I didn't realize that apparently, if there's a tornado warning, people will still get on the road in Oklahoma inebriated, because that's what I saw last Saturday.
Well, that's
really?
what I do.
Really?
Someone was drinking and driving while they were on the road.
Well, they were very obviously inebriated. Just by the way, you could tell by the way that they were, on I-35, but just in the center of two lanes.
Oh my God!
Are you sure? Are you sure they weren't like looking up at the storm and driving like, this is cool?
Well,
it
was 9 p.m. So I would have, if they were, then they weren't seeing anything, and I didn't see the light of a cell phone. And I was just, I mean, people in Oklahoma, they get this all the time. So I guess it's just another Memorial Day weekend for them.
Another Memorial Day weekend.
And that, I will say, that's another interesting thing coming from the East Coast and seeing this this culture in Oklahoma, and really only in Oklahoma, where they'll say on the news, you'll see this bar graph on the weather, and one of the bar graphs says tornado, and it's, you know, the threat is either it's this level or it's high, and everyone goes a lot about their day. Oh, we might have a tornado, we might not.
It's a low threat.
It's a low threat today.
Just another day in the middle of May for Oklahoma. It's like, wow.
Don't quit cooking my burger on the grill.
You're flipping it around. I'm gonna drink another beer.
All right. Well, Conor, tell you what. Let our listeners know how they can follow you and your project, whether it's on the web or social media.
Okay. The website for the project is behindthebearscage.wordpress.com. That's the blog that I try to update as regularly as possible. Stay tuned for more stuff. This coming in the next few months, there will definitely be more content up there. On Instagram, I am at Behind the Bears Cage. I'm on the project's on Facebook, which is facebook.com/Behind the Bears Cage. And I'm on Twitter, but the thing with Twitter is that the username only allows a certain amount of characters, and Behind the Bears Cage was one character too long. So it's at BT Bears Cage on Twitter.
That sounds like ours. Maz always gets confused because it's
Stormfront Freak.
It's Stormfront Freak.
Exactly. I was wondering why, and now I understand.
Did we
it's
change
because
it again?
Phil just wanted this podcast just to be just him.
Yeah, that's it. He's the
Then
only.
he realized that he had to have other people.
It's all about me, brother.
It's all about Phil.
All right, well, cool. I was going to offer up too if you had a PayPal account to help supplement your chase season. That out there too, but we'll.
Yeah, there's a PayPal link, but I've chased myself into the ground for this year. So always stay tuned because there's always some way that I will always
ask
love
for help,
some financial assistance.
All right, well, let's go ahead. It's time for our lightning round. So this is our speed round of fun questions for our guest. And this might be a good call out to our listeners and viewers because we always seem to play game shows now with our lightning round. So it's less of a speed round, more of a game show round. So if you think we should change the name, that might be one way for you to give us some feedback at questions@stormfrontfreaks.com. You can email us there. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'll give you a little hint to what we're playing.
Deal or no deal?
That is correct. We're playing a little Family Feud tonight.
Time for the feud.
I love Family Feud.
All right, so we're playing a little Family Feud, and what we're going to do is the theme is going to be Star Wars related. If you can't tell, Conor is a Star Wars fan.
Hold on.
And leave it to me. So this is the second time in the last 3 shows that our lightning round has been based on Star Wars. Because if someone likes Star Wars, we're going to do something Star Wars. So here's
Disney's our
well, he'll be a part of your family, Conor, because here's how we're going to play this. So it's Family Feud. And I thought the only good way to play this game to make it fair, because I think the rest of the freaks suck at Star Wars.
What the heck?
Come on!
Oh, I don't know about that.
Based on the last show, you guys weren't so hot. So I'm gonna have the freaks be their own family, and I'm gonna have Conor and Darth Vader. You're gonna be the other family.
Okay.
Skywalker.
And so the best way to play this, because we can't do hand buzzers and who buzzed in first, we don't have that ability. So I'm gonna leave it to Conor. Conor gets control. And we're only doing one round here, okay? But so Conor, and to explain to our other listeners that might not know Family Feud, you have control. So what that means is you're going to be able to either keep control, and there's going to be 10 answers on the board, and you got to pick all 10 to win.
Ooh.
Before you get your third strike or your third wrong answer, okay? If you get a third strike or a third wrong answer, it's going to go over to the Freaks family. And all they have to do is pick one of the correct answers that's still left on the board, and they win. Okay. If they don't pick one, they only get one chance. If they don't pick one, then you still end up winning.
Okay, so it's
Or the other option is you can give control to the freaks, knowing they're maybe not so good at Star Wars.
Whoa.
They might not be able to get all 10 answers before their third strike, so control would go back to you, and you would only have to pick one of the remaining to win.
Okay.
So here's what we're gonna do. Top 10 answers on the board, Connor.
okay. All right.
Name EmpireOnline.com's greatest Star Wars movie characters. So top 10 greatest Star Wars movie characters according to EmpireOnline.com. You can't look it up. Do you want to take control or do you want to pass?
I'm going to take control. I'm going to do it.
He's going to take control. All right, so he's going for it. All right, so here we go. Top 10 answers on the board. Give us one of the greatest Star Wars movie characters.
Darth Vader.
And that would be correct. He is number 2.
All right.
He is number 2. All right, give me another one.
Yoda.
That would be correct. He is number 9. So you have Darth Vader and Yoda.
Yoda's number 9. That's crap. Yoda should be. That guy was a boss.
Now, how recent is this?
This covers all the movies. Covers all
Okay.
all
up
the
to
movies.
even Rogue One.
Yes, even Rogue One.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, too late to back out now, buddy.
So,
All right, so you got 2. So go ahead. Time's clicking.
I would hope Princess Leia.
That would be correct. She is number 4.
Okay.
Number 4.
4.
Darth Vader, Princess Leia, Yoda so far.
Han Solo.
He is number 1. He is number
Woo,
1.
see? They saved him. That's why.
Not anymore. He's dead.
Well,
It keeps
they
don't
saved him
ruin it.
then.
So,
All right, keep going.
R2D2.
R2D2 is number 8.
Wow.
Correct. Good. You still have number 3, 5, 6, 7, and 10.
Oh, I know number 10. Oh yeah.
I hope it's not. I hope it doesn't start with a J.
Oh.
Luke Skywalker.
And Luke is number 3. So very good. So you're down to 5, 6, 7, and 10.
5, 6, 7, and 10. 5, 6, 7, and 10. But I've got to be very
Greatest Star
strategic.
Wars
I'm
movie
trying to
characters.
think.
Tiene mucho. Mucho. Ricardo Montoya. Lorenzo Lamas. Okay. All right.
Okay, Chewbacca.
Chewbacca is number
I was thinking that.
5.
Yeah.
These
Chewbacca's
Star Wars
number
fans,
5.
they get very choosy. and I want to make sure that I'm not
You're
gonna.
down. You only got 3 left. 6, 7, and 10.
Wow, 3 left.
Yep,
Okay,
6, 7, and 10.
and I've got all 7 movies plus Rogue One. Okay, because
You're
I'm
not
thinking
looking at your phone, are you?
what? I'm looking at my handwritten list.
Yeah, it was just a storm checker check. That's all. All right. Click.
C-3PO.
C-3PO is not one of them. So that's your first strike.
Oh, we got
All right.
C-3PO?
How rude.
No one likes C-3PO. He's
I do.
Yeah, that's
He's very logical.
Comic relief. He's a
Yeah.
comic
All
relief. BB-8.
6, 7. BB-8 is
Yes.
he is number 6.
Oh,
He is number
wow.
6. So you got 1 strike and you're down to 7 and 10.
All right.
So you've already
You
said
wanna
Han
say
Solo.
it.
Yeah.
Darth
No, you
Vader,
wanna
Luke
say it.
Skywalker,
Right now.
Princess Leia,
Come on, Connor.
R2D2
You
and
wanna
Yoda.
say it.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ooh.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is not on the list. Actually, just to be honest, I think he was number 11 because this was a list of like 50.
He's in
Oh.
the
He was not in the top 10.
I thought
okay, so
Obi-Wan.
it's a list of 50. So,
Yeah.
okay. That makes all right. So it
Oh,
wasn't-
that doesn't change anything. Shut up.
Well,
All
I mean,
right.
it knows that there are 50 other.
You got
50
2
spots.
strikes and you
He's
got
got 50
7 and 10
characters
left.
Okay.
Two strikes.
Okay.
7 and 10.
Lando Calrissian.
Unfortunately, no. He would be my number 1 actually, but he was not in the
number
top
1?
10.
Man.
So, so here we go. So control
Freaks.
goes over to the freaks. You guys have 1 choice.
I-
You guys can talk amongst yourself, but you get 1 choice. 7 and 10 are still open.
Guys,
Han Solo, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, BB-8, R2D2, and Yoda are already on the board.
I know number 10, and
The Emperor.
I know number 10, but I'm
Oh,
not
I
going to say it because it's
Can we
Emperor.
say it? Can we talk
What?
here?
What is it?
You can talk. You can
So it
talk.
could be
quick.
like either Anakin or the Emperor.
Boy, the Emperor maybe. Although
I've got number 10, guys. Don't worry. You guys.
Okay, Brady, what is it? You got to say
What
it.
is
'cause
it then? You can
Just
say
trust
it.
me. Just trust me. I'm gonna nail this one.
What does
All
that
right.
mean? Trust me.
Just trust me. I'm gonna
Did
nail
we
it.
trust you in like episode 4 or something of this?
Luke,
Maybe.
trust your feelings, right?
All
Is that
right. What's
something?
your answer? What's your answer?
Number 10 is Jar Jar Binks.
Why would
No.
you do that?
Is that your answer?
Yes.
No.
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 Thank God.
He's involved in this 8th
just
movie.
like-
He's
No.
gonna be. He's Professor
Connor.
Snope or whatever it's called.
Like, don't say it.
All
Dr. Snoop.
right. Connor is our winner of our Star
Dang
Wars
it.
Oh,
Family Feud.
Brady.
Who was it?
Who were they?
Okay.
I'm sure Palpatine was one of them.
I guarantee you it wasn't Jar
It
Jar.
wasn't Jar Jar.
What list are you looking at? He's
Everybody
Yeah,
hated
that
Jar
is
Jar
the
Binks,
worst. That is the
Brady.
worst. All
no
right.
guy.
Number 7
Come
on
on.
the board. Anybody you think
Emperor.
was Boba Fett? Boba Fett.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I can't believe you didn't get Boba Fett.
More than Jar Jar Binks?
And
Come
number
on.
and number
Come on.
10 on
Yes.
the board is from The Force Awakens.
Ray.
Kylo
Ray?
Ren.
Kylo
Oh,
Ren.
okay.
Kylo Ren.
Man.
Wow.
Was
Personal
in-
opinion,
so-
Ray should have been up in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have got it wrong
Probably.
too. But
We'll
Jar
do
Jar, come on.
Anyway,
Jar Jar,
great
that was-
job, Connor. Great job.
Yay.
Yeah, Connor.
Yeah, well done.
I wasn't
With
even
a
thinking about
small
the bad
cash
guys,
prize, right, Phil?
Yep, he wins
A large
pride.
sum
That's,
of money.
that's what we hand out.
I win
in lumps and
a
sums.
A Darth Vader.
And they didn't have Padme on there. Princess Amidala.
All right. Hey, Brady.
What's up?
You do some
Jar
local
Jar.
chasing on your free time, right?
Every now and then, yeah, I try and get
You do?
out.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. You should check out severestreaming.com. Do you have a
Oh, wow.
laptop?
You know, I think I might, but I'm not sure.
Okay. It's simple yes or no question. Do you have an
Yes.
HD webcam or camcorder?
No.
Okay,
Wait.
well, you could just pick up a webcam. HD webcam's pretty easy.
Okay.
Do you have a cellular data plan?
I do, yes.
Okay, well, those are the only 3 things you need, because if you do, severestreaming.com is going to go ahead and provide the rest to get your GPS location
Ooh.
and your live video online and available for sale whenever you're out chasing. So for over 10 years, Severe Studios has been a leader in the chaser industry. They were the first to offer pro streaming accounts. They've got over 1,000 storm chasers that have signed up with them to broadcast severe weather live in the field. So Brady, you got to let these experts help you get started. Even if you're not a full-time chaser, you can still live stream, and if you catch some good stuff, sell your video. So that's Severe
Except to me.
Streaming.
Except to you. Yeah?
Except
to
Dina,
me.
yeah, but that's
Goes
Severe
out for
Streaming.
free.
Hey, let me finish our promotion here. This is severestreaming.com from Severe Studios. Tell them that the Stormfront Freaks sent you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a short break. Our podcast listeners will hear the latest edition of the Titans U Minute with Chris Sanner, but don't leave, because we'll be right back with Connor and the Freaks to discuss if storm chasers should embrace a safety certification. All right, first break.
Break.
So Brady,
It's
Brady,
so
who
hot
pays for your
here.
data plan? Is it you or your
Pays
parents?
for my data plan.
You
Well,
or
I'm
your
still,
mom?
I'm still on my family's plan, all right?
Just
Just like I'm,
sucking
family
that
just
nipple.
like I'm on my
Family plan.
mom's health insurance.
Still on that nipple.
If you're on her dental insurance, if you're on your dental insurance, I will say go get your wisdom teeth out now, because
Yeah.
I'm now realizing
Yeah,
that I should
true.
have done it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, you gotta
I've
do that
maxed
before
out
you-
every year for the past 4 years. I've maxed out my dental insurance and gone like well over.
What are you doing?
Well, okay, first of all, I don't know. I just my teeth are really
Let me
soft.
see those teeth.
Okay, they're fine. They're fine.
How
It's
many
fine.
wisdom teeth do you have?
No, well, my senior year of high school, I got both my front teeth knocked out with a baseball. So I've had like really bad. I've
Just
had
a
like,
minute, it was a fight.
Didn't
I've
learn how
probably
to-
had about 12 root canals. I've got 3 fake teeth.
What
I've had
the
like
hell,
4 fillings.
Brady?
Never
Connor's about to puke.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
gonna lose
So
it.
did you switch to hockey then, or what?
I switched. Well, I mean, they're still all in. It's just
Just
some
fine
of them
baseball.
fake, and it's.
All right,
Aren't those
hey
called
Connor.
summer teeth?
Dennis loves me.
I'm gonna have Connor do a quick little plug.
Okay.
So what I want you to say is, hey, this is Conor Clancy, photojournalist of Behind the Bears Cage, and you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Can I say
That work?
creator of Behind the Bears Cage, since it
You can say whatever the hell you want to say, dude. It's your
Mastermind.
plug. It's your
All
plug.
right,
You
cool.
can throw in there, I'm super cool. I photographed Billy Idol. on the man,
I know.
and you're listening to
Yeah,
Stormfront.
Billy
Freaks
Idol.
Podcast.
Oh, right. I did do that. I forgot.
All right, you got the stage.
This is Conor Clancy, creator of Behind the Bear's Cage, and you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks. When I said podcast, is it the whole thing? It's podcast, right?
Yeah, say podcast.
All right. This is Conor Clancy, creator of Behind the Bear's Cage, and you're listening to Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Boom.
Thank
That was
you.
good. We'll take that.
Nice.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
let's as soon as Brady gets back, let's get started. We're a little bit behind.
Let's
here.
roll.
Have him do one
My
where he's
fault.
now Connor McLeod of the McLeod
All right.
clan.
So here's just
Plan
so you
called
guys know. So I'm going to come back and talk a little bit about kind of set up this idea of should there be some kind of a certification, a storm chasing safety certification, where I can, if I'm a chaser, I can claim, I can even put something on the back of my car or something, whatever, but I can claim that I'm safety certified. I'm a safety certified storm chaser. One, that's what I hear the public bitch about. But I hear chasers bitch about this too, about people that are doing this and that and this and that. So one side is whether they need it. The other side is will they accept it? Will they do it? And I think that from my experience, and I'll kind of set it up a little bit. That's a big question. But yeah, so this one I might talk a little bit, and I don't want to, but I might talk a little bit because I want to set this
Talk
up.
away.
All right. And
Hey,
again,
as we get-
Connor, so you know, just jump in whenever you got something to say, just like I did for MJ.
Okay.
Yeah, he always interesting. I was just gonna say, Connor, you got Kate and Mary on our Twitter or on our Facebook chat that giving you some shout outs. Just thought I'd tell you that.
Hi,
Facebook
Kate
or
and Mary.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Sorry.
Hi, guys.
YouTube. Cool.
All right, ready to roll?
All right. Well, let's
Do you
go
know
ahead and count
them?
me in.
I don't. Kate and Mary who?
Exactly.
Kate E and Mary O'Keefe.
Oh, Mary O'Keefe. That's my aunt. Hi, Aunt Mary.
There you go.
See, you should have said
Podcast
those were the
with Mom and
models
Dad.
I just dated last week.
There you go.
No, I can't.
I love it.
Those are.
All right.
Hi, Aunt
I
Mary.
can't say their names.
All right, here we go.
Love you. All right.
In 3, 2, 1.
All right. Welcome back. We just found out not only do we have moms that watch and listen, but we have our aunts that watch and listen too. So that's awesome.
Godmothers.
God, this is awesome.
Where are
Anyway,
the uncles? Where are the uncles?
right. Where are the guys? I don't get it.
Asleep
Anyway.
in their like Barker lounger.
So let's get into our discussion a little bit. So every year, it seems during the severe season in the plains, storm chaser safety is in question. And Connor mentioned that a little bit. Whether it's complaints, accidents, and even deaths that are being reported, it always raises the question, should the storm chasing community embrace some form of safety certification or training or recognition or something like that? Now, the question and the challenge here becomes number one, that I found is chasers, they don't want to be regulated or policed, which is understandable, right? They want the freedom. I want to go chase, right? So they don't want to be regulated or policed by anybody. That's a challenge. So the question is, how would it be enforced? So if someone is safety certified, how do you enforce it if they have that certification? And if they don't want to be regulated?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one question to talk about. The other thing that I was thinking about, so in regards to that, all of us, I think, or most of us are storm spotters, right? As well. We've gone through the National Weather Service, 2-hour storm spotter training class.
There's a class?
Yeah. So, but you can do it online. I've seen people that do it online as well. Would chasers be willing to attend a 2-hour class, or if it were provided online? Is that something you think maybe be open to do? Think about where else you get certifications. I think about this all the time. You get first aid, CPR certifications. Does someone enforce that? No, that's just, I've learned a skill, right? That I can help somebody. But if I didn't do it right, or if I was off a little bit on my breathing and my compressions, no one is enforcing that to go, well, you did it off just a little bit. If I did the best I could, but at least I was trained to be able to do that. So one of the things I was thinking about is what about a checklist? So if chasers don't want to have to go through a class or go through whatever to get some certification, and they don't want someone to enforce it, how about a checklist where I can be a safety certified storm chaser, and I've got that tag, but what I did to earn it was, you know what, I got my first aid CPR license, right? Or certification. So aftermath of severe weather, I can help people. I'm trained to be able to help people, revive people, first aid, whatever. Obviously, maybe driver's license, you'd hope, is part of the checklist. Maybe they've attended the National Weather Service spotter training, right? So I've got that. Maybe there's an online session that they take. But once I've completed that checklist, all it means is now I can claim that I'm safety certified because I've taken a few extra steps to be aware of safety. The other thing, so I'm throwing all these ideas out here. You guys can always jump in, but here's the other thing. And Connor, you would know this, you know, even being out in Oklahoma this past weekend, people look at chasers like rock stars.
I mean, I think that you saw it too when we were in that parking lot, that the Chickasaw travel stop. People started to come up to Chris and asking everywhere from what are we in danger? Are we going to see any weather? To there was actually a fan or somebody who walked up to Chris and kind of waited until he was talking to Eugene, one of the Tornado Titans, and was kind of waiting there for him to stop speaking. And it was like, hey, I'm this person. I met you another time. And especially in Tornado Alley, it's almost like they, rock stars is the correct term.
So my thought on that is this: is if there's a checklist, there's a safety certification checklist, and once you've completed the checklist, you send it in to whoever, whatever, you know, would do this to get your safety certification. And all you do is you get the tag. It's like I'm a storm spotter, because all I did is I went to a 2-hour National Weather Service and listened to a little bit about that, right?
Right.
So now I've got that training. Well, if I'm a storm chaser, because I've heard some people say, I don't want this certification, but these are the same ones that bitch about the other chasers that are out there parking in the middle of the road or with their flashers on, you know, in the middle of the night, blinding everybody else and all this stuff going on. To me, if I'm a chaser, I would embrace that checklist or that certification, because if I'm a more well-known chaser, some of the backyard weekend chasers would go, oh, you know, so-and-so has it, or this person has it. Maybe I should get it too. And if that helps to create a safer environment, that's good for everybody.
Right.
Now, there's no one to enforce it necessarily. I mean, there's no one that would go, well, okay, I saw him doing this and doing this and doing. It's just I've done this, and this on a certain checklist that certifies me by whatever governing body or by whatever group or whatever, right, that says I'm safety certified.
Yeah, and I think that the difficulty would actually be the actual trying to enforce it. It's nearly impossible.
I don't think you would be able to.
Even the threat.
I don't think you would.
There's murmurs of certain local officials and emergency management officials talking about trying to ban storm chasing, and it's just not something that you can ever.
That's ridiculous.
Really, it would never be able to enforce that. But I think that that for the people, these people who are kind of those outliers that are poorly behaved, I wrote down one word, and that is hubris. Which is, I think that
careful with those big words.
Well, I think that for there's a certain group who feel like they're invincible, and that no matter what happens, they think, oh, well, it's not going to happen to me, and it's almost like I hate how many people have to die before people realize that you have to. It's all about paying attention to the road and not being distracted. They're basic traffic laws that I think, because of, I don't know what it is personally, but I've seen people kind of pass a double yellow line to get in front of a whole group of storm. The other day when we were stuck behind a whole train of storm chasers, and there was a whole convoy of about 3 chase vehicles that were these big vans, and there was a green light, and one of these vans just stopped at the green light because two of his partners were behind the vehicle that I was in. So the vehicle that Phil was in, we ended up getting separated by probably 15 minutes just because one person decided to not follow the rules of the road so that they could keep their group together. So it's stuff like that, being kind of using common sense too, I think is an issue with not all of them. Obviously not all of them, because I'm trying to show that doesn't happen. But unfortunately, I think one of the issues is that everyone needs to know that whatever they do reflects the entire storm chasing community as a whole. So you might think, I can go and do this, cross a double yellow, run the stop sign. If someone gets it on camera or you cause an accident, it's going to be on the news, and it's going to make the entire hobby suffer for that. And I think there's just that thing that the hubris being, I wrote down the definition. Personality of extreme or foolish pride or dangerous overconfidence. And I think that the dangerous overconfidence is something that a handful of people in this community, as Phil said, the weekend chasers, might have.
I had one question. Like, it might be worth it if we could make it worthwhile for a storm chaser. So say you get certified, maybe then just like say people get a seal at AMS, if you're in some kind of database, then hey, maybe that will bring your insurance down, so that will save you money. Maybe that will allow you to take money to take people on storm chasing tours. If you make it worthwhile, especially when it comes to money, where you could save money or make money, then it might be worth somebody to do it.
Sure. And I'm going to bring a couple other things in here. It's been a hot topic on the YouTube chat. Jason, Richard, Christine, a couple others also agree that CPR and first aid ought to be a prerequisite for this kind of thing. I think they're on board. A lot of people are with that. But as you were talking about making it worthwhile, let's see, it was Jason says, if law enforcement would be willing to allow someone with this certification past roadblocks like they do a media pass, every chaser and their mom would be on board. So if you talk about something worth making it worthwhile.
Yeah. And I think too, another good point is like, how the, in the TV industry, the AMS seal, people, look at those people and say, they're a credible source, I trust them. That can be exactly the same thing with storm chasers. When they're giving these reports, not only are they a storm spotter, but they also have this chaser certification where the National Weather Service people can trust it more, but also the people in the media realm, like Dina, where you work. If you saw, hey, this storm chaser is going to post this, I can maybe, give what they're saying more credibility, maybe even get them on the air, maybe even get them on, a video, and maybe only put those people that have that certification, maybe only put their information out there. Only like if you were to interview on the Weather Channel, someone comes to you without the seal, put them on.
And then you got the same thing with like, maybe they can, if they're certified, maybe they can work more with emergency management, or the NWS to get good reports. They know they're getting good reports. They know it's a tornado and so forth. They know exactly where they are because they know how to check their location. But, all these things would, I know in Twitter, there's ways to, I don't know if it's called getting certified or having some
verification.
Verification, yeah. But if you do that, then and I could even, like, being in the media, I can even have these people up on my tweet deck, watch them, and but then it opens up a whole new world of, hey, I can talk to NWS, I could talk to emergency management, I could talk to media, and media is where you can make some money. Although emergency management and NWS is more, for people's safety in general. So.
And I think there's definitely, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and if you, if you charge, like for the AMS, when I was in, it was like $100 or something like that. If a portion of those proceeds goes somewhere to maybe like disaster relief or something, education, that, it's a self-fulfilling, prophecy there where you kind of just continue to fulfill it.
It's a good one.
Ultimately, I think it comes down to because those are all great ideas. I think ultimately what it comes down to is there's got to be, a handful or a couple of at least well-known, chasers that have been doing it for a long time that are willing to take pride in trying to create a safe environment and promoting a safe environment, to buy into it. Because I think once you get some buy-in, then that's when all of the weekend chasers and the local chasers and the the weekend athletes, what do you call the people that just play softball on the weekend? Or
Weekend warriors.
Weekend warriors, right?
Yeah.
That's when all of those folks that probably have just as much of an impact, if not a bigger impact, because there's probably more of them than there are more regular chasers, right? That's when they will start to buy in. And the great thing about that then is now you start, it just, as Maz was talking about, it starts to build on itself in having this safe promotion. Now it's becoming a PR movement of safety. And as Conor was talking about, that's where a lot of the bad press is coming from. You start creating that environment and people can start taking pride in that without having to have I got to be regulated and licensed and all this kind of stuff. It's just a matter of some simple things that gives you, even if it's just the title, but the title promotes safety. And that creates that environment of thinking safety and doing safety. And it just becomes a bigger, important factor, in my opinion.
And if it's a cool bumper sticker,
Do I get a cool bumper sticker with it?
Flashing lights on it and everything, right?
Well, and I've one last thing to add is there's this word, the term that's thrown around Twitter a lot, and it's chaser police. And I just say, don't be afraid to call people out if they're behaving badly, because by calling out bad behavior, you could be saving an innocent person's life. And I'm not even trying to make a mountain out of a molehill or anything, but if you're on the road and you're being careless or something like that, then it's something that you should call out. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to be called out.
Yeah, and it won't solve all the problems. There's still going to be issues, but it's the promotion of a safe environment is what you start creating with that kind of scenario. But go ahead and we want you all to tell us what you think. You can comment by email at questions@stormfrontfreaks.com. Or just find us on Twitter or Facebook, and we always like to share some of those responses or ideas on our next show. So as a listener or viewer, we always want you to be able to enjoy all these great guests that we have every show without you having to support us financially with all the costs of running a podcast. So what we ask you to support our partners like weatherproshop.com. What a great source for Skywarn weather spotter merchandise and reference tools. These guys have embroidered t-shirts, polos, caps for men and women. They have report logs and great laminated reference guides for spotters and chasers. They'll even do custom orders and volume discounts for chaser or spotter organizations, or even for city and county governments, okay? One thing I found out is right now, if you go to weatherproshop.com, you can save $5 when buying a Skywarn shirt and hat together at the same time. And as we mentioned before, new customers setting up an account, they're going to give you an automatic 5% discount off your order. But for a limited time, and this part is expiring really soon, Stormfront Freaks listeners, you'll get an additional 5% off at checkout when you enter the code STORM, STORM. Enter that code. You'll get another 5% discount on your order. So there's absolutely no reason not to visit and support our partner, weatherproshop.com. So we're going to go ahead and take our final break. Listeners will hear Brady's Storm School. The rest of you watching can refill your drinks. And when we come back, it's time for our Weather Fools and WX resources. And those of you watching on Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV, we love it. Thanks for tuning in and listening to us this week or watching us this week. Do me a favor. Email William, okay? Email William Cole. You can do that from the app. And just tell him what you like about the show, what you're looking forward to every week or whatever it is you like about it, because he wants to hear your feedback, as do we. So, and then we'll look forward to having you right back here on Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV next week. Same time, same channel, same bat, everything else. Okay. So, Mark, I can't hear you, MJ. So we're on our break.
Oh, there we go. We're already off. He cut us off at 9. So.
Oh, did he? Loser.
Yeah.
At 9. We never went on.
He didn't get my plead for him. Oh man.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I was going to try to tell you that, but I thought I'll just let you go. I monitor that too, and they dropped this right about 9 o'clock.
That was Phil's best work.
That was. That was. Oh,
Hey, Connor, does Shayla Snyder mean anything to you?
Hi, Shay Shay.
Hey, what's up, Shay Shay?
She's a proud Conor Clancy enthusiast and wants to announce that she's the only model Conor takes on dates. So there you go.
Wow.
Rumors are gonna start now.
In that case, does baby Mandy mean anything to you?
Once upon a time.
Plot thickens.
Wow. Oh, that's good stuff. Hey, thanks for watching, Shay Shay. So cool. Hey, Connor, thanks, man. You were awesome. I'm so glad we were able to make this work a lot sooner.
I know. It's definitely. I'm glad it worked now because I think in September it would have been definitely. At least it was fresh. It was fresh in my memory.
Good.
I agree. Yeah,
I had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
Great. Thanks for coming.
I know, it was awesome.
Yeah.
You and Darth Vader are on fire.
I was really worried there for a while that I was actually. My cred would have gone down.
Hey.
So thank you, Brady, for you.
You're welcome.
I
got you.
Emperor wasn't on there either.
Just wait till episode 8 comes out and he's number 1.
No, never.
He's so bad.
Jar Jar is Snoke.
He's Snoke. He is. It's confirmed.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy. Oh, so many conspiracies.
Brady.
There are. Anyway, Connor, great man. We loved having you.
That was great. Thank you guys.
We'll let you go back to your model dates and everything else.
I've got to go put out some fires now.
And there can be only one.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Hey, and I'll follow up with you this weekend because we'll post the audio show like probably Sunday or Saturday night.
I'll follow up with you with all the pictures that I have. None of them are incriminating, I don't think.
I'd like to see some Billy Idol ones.
Yeah, I don't think I was grabbing my crotch.
Find those.
Picking my nose, grabbing my crotch.
I get some really weird.
Gross.
I will say I get some really weird. I get a lot of derp shots. There are some really great derp shots. I don't know if there are any of you, but I could have a book of Storm Chaser derp shots just from this project.
Wait, what's a derp shot?
Like
dirt.
where they're getting out, like where their face is.
Oh, dirt. D-I-R.
No, derp.
D-E-R-P.
Derp. Like dirt.
Like a dopey look on their face?
Yeah.
Dirty dirt like that.
Like, like faces like that. Where they're just
called
derp faces.
Like young whippersnappers.
D-E-R-P.
Young. Wow.
Say
Derpy derp.
say Connor, when we're done, hop on the YouTube just so you can see the chat and see all your fan comments. We'll try to send it to you too.
And us continuing to talk about you too. So just
that's awesome.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Right.
Thanks,
Connor. You're awesome,
Connor.
buddy. All right. So weather resources, Maz coming out of break.
I got one.
I got one.
Weather Fools.
I got
All right,
one.
Weather Fools.
wait. Wait, Brady had one. Who else? Dina had one.
Yeah, I got one.
Brady, Dina,
And
Phil
Phil.
on weather resources.
Got it. Okay. Resources. Got it.
And then Weather Fools, Dina, Phil.
I don't have one. I couldn't find one.
Okay. So Dina and Phil and Kim's not here, so we won't fuck up the
Oh.
the share screen.
Lost the aunt.
Hey.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So let's roll, man. You guys good?
Yeah.
Giddy up.
My
All
beer's
right,
about
Maz,
done,
ready?
so let's go. How's your Wonder Woman thing going?
It's yummy.
Okay, good.
I'm going to spin around. It's going to be cool.
All right, Maz, here you go. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome back. That was a great commercial break, wasn't it? Hey, I'm just telling you guys, I think personally, Dina should come up with her own weather resource that brings together the latest alcoholic beverages that
That's not a bad idea.
See what I'm saying? Yeah.
I
that
should
will be
start
Wonder
putting my
Woman
drink
theme.
recipes online.
I know.
I know. Put it on Twitter. Promote the show.
Tina,
Yeah.
when you all get together as the freak group, I'm gonna need some of those recipes. I'm gonna need you to make me some because
You're
I'm
gonna have
Okay.
to make sure your mom approves.
I
it,
think
though.
you
Oh
really
my
like the
We'll fix
I'm
Yeah.
almost
Like the
23,
that
man.
one.
Come on.
Yeah. Brady, you're going to need an ID.
Oh, we're gonna have to do a special birthday show, by the way. My birthday is coming up here. So
All
is
right.
it?
We digress.
July 20th.
We digress.
Okay.
July 20th.
Hey,
All right.
so we're back. We're going to do weather resources. Let's go to Brady. Why not? He's just still talking. So take it away, Brady.
Well, here we go. My weather resource is going to be kind of specific, and it's going to be mainly to broadcast meteorologists who are kind of making their own product, kind of like I did. It's a radar. It's a telecast. It's a website. First of all, they have, it's a lot like weather.com or an AccuWeather where you can get your local forecast. But not only that, but they have a radar where you can actually, it's a GIF format. So you can actually basically copy and paste it onto your own slides. Now, it's not the best radar, but it's a lot better than having no radar. And I used that through school when I was trying to make my own forecasts for our local TV station. So any young students out there looking in telecast to get some radar action that you can actually use in your own broadcasts.
Ooh.
I thought you were going to be like, use old microwave ovens and you can
Use
make
old
your
microwave.
own radar.
No. Well, you can, but I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you're living in a dorm and you don't want to catch anything on fire.
So is that Intellicast.com?
Yeah, it's www.intellicast.com. You can go.
And I used to work for them.
Oh, no way. Really?
Well,
Dina?
it's WSI, which is now part
Okay.
of the weather company. And
Okay.
yeah, I used to work for them. I
Yep.
used to quality control that radar.
Wow. Well, that's the only radar that I found that I can actually use in my forecast, without making a GIF by hand, basically. So it's
Another
pretty cool.
corporation gobbled up
Yep.
by another. All right, Dina, your turn.
All right, so mine, I'll share my screen here. Although I don't know if you need to see it, but this is part of the National Weather Service, and this is the public information statement page. So mainly what happens is this, you go down the list and this shows all the National Weather Service offices. And what's nice about this is that if you click on it, you'll get the public information statement. So if there are tornadoes, it'll tell you if it was confirmed. And this is a good place to go if you want to get like snowfall totals, rainfall totals, anything really that, you want to send out to them specifically. So,
It's also a great place, Brady, to send
if I live
resumes to.
here, like I live here in Atlanta, so I would probably even bookmark Peachtree City, which is the Atlanta one, and then I can read it all the time and kind of keep up on it.
Speaking of peaches, rip that. Dang. Sorry.
What?
80% of the peaches have been destroyed this season, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, have they?
Oh yeah, in Georgia, yeah, 80% of the peach crop was destroyed.
Oh, I didn't
this
even know
year.
that.
Yeah.
Learn
Phil,
something every day.
Bill, do you feel like they're having their own conversation without us?
Yeah, I do a little bit. Yeah,
It's your
And
turn.
then-
Go ahead.
and if it were interesting,
Peaches.
I'd enjoy it. But
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
not
You
so
know what?
much.
It'll be
All right.
interesting when you go to the grocery store and your peaches
So
are
I don't. Yeah,
okay.
I like peaches. I just don't eat a lot of them. All right,
Hands
so
off my peaches.
my weather resource. I assume that was a segue, Mass, to me. Yes. My weather resource is, and we brought this up before, College of DuPage and their website. They got a great website with all the models,
Yep.
forecast
Awesome.
models, and everything else. However, you may not know they also have, at least on iPhone, they have an app, the Next Lab Models app, which is all from the College of DuPage.
Oh,
But
no way.
basically offers all the same. And here's the
I'm downloading this right now.
Yeah, so all the models, and I
this.
used that this weekend when I was in Oklahoma, looking at all the models. The T's, they got the T-SKU diagrams.
SKT
Right
lock
there.
B.
QT, did you say T-SKU?
I did. Sorry.
Oh my
That's my
god.
experience. That's my
It's a weather
experience.
podcast, Phil. Come on.
I know, but hey,
Oh.
yeah, I know.
Shut up, Phil. I got to see the name of this again.
I've done worse. It is the Next Lab models for iPhone.
Next Lab.
So just look up Next Lab.
Yeah, I found it. As soon as you wrote
NEXLAB.
it, like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it's right
Getting
there.
it
So anyway, all the models you want to see, all that kind of stuff, it's all right there. It's good.
Sweet. Done. That's awesome.
.com? Is that .com?
No, it's an app, so none of it's .com. You actually go to your iPhone, and they might have it for Android. I don't know, but if you have an iPhone, just go to your app store, look up NextLab, NEXLAB, and it's right there. It's free. There's some sweet stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh wow, I love this. I look at this page every day, but I haven't used the app before, so
it's
I'm
quick,
excited
and
now.
it's quicker than trying to at least pull it up on your iPhone, pulling up the website.
Yeah.
And searching everything there because it's designed to be right on your phone. So it's cool. So anyway, all these great resources, we'll have them posted on our episode 28 show notes located at stormfrontfreaks.com. So if you didn't get that, we'll just post it on our show notes. Just look at episode 28. All right, Brady.
All right, guys. Well, it's time for our Weather Fools, where we're going to go into something that might have happened in the past week or month. It has to do with weather, and it is very silly or even downright stupid. We'll do some videos. We'll post them all on our page after the show is over. But Dina, take away. What is your Weather Fool this week?
All right, I'm going to share my screen. Now, this is a quick one, but it's funny. This guy, he starts off, he's out there in the box, and he goes outside at a nice day, and then this big bug flies in front of him, and he screams like a tiny child. And the funny thing is, like, the whole time he's doing this, I'm like, close your mouth. Close your mouth. It's going to fly right in your mouth.
You get a great herb photo off of that.
Oh, man, that's funny. So I think that was just, it was short and sweet, but it was cute.
That face reminds me of my dad when he sleeps. He sleeps with his mouth open like that.
Looks like a pretty face. Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Or dirt. That's a dirt face. That's a dirt face.
There you go.
Exactly. All right, Phil, what is your Weather Fool this week?
All right. So my Weather Fool is actually a video that I found on AccuWeather. And
okay.
Yeah, good old AccuWeather video.
Let's hear this one.
It was actually a video of an individual that it said a student at the University of Plymouth in the UK had gone outside with his friends to Snapchat a storm on May 30th when a gigantic bolt of lightning came within meters of striking them. So watch for it. Wait for it.
Oh my gosh!
And then they
Look at that.
Holy crap!
That's cool.
So take lightning safety, highly important, everybody.
Oh my! Yeah.
Do not
That's
go
a
out
good
in the
one.
lightning storm and try and videotape it.
Hey, my last Storm School episode, if you guys check it out, it's got some good tips, got some
That's
good
right.
myths.
That's
that
right.
people,
I wonder if the hair on their arms stood up, you know?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it probably
I'd have
did.
to imagine a lot stood up.
Yeah. Whoa.
A little scary there.
Oh yeah, there's some positive energy flowing through there.
All right. So you can check those out again. Go to stormfrontfreaks.com. Look at our episode 28 show notes. And if you want Brady's Storm School on lightning safety, that was episode 27. All right. So I'm going to turn it over to MJ. MJ, got any listener questions, comments?
Hey, we got, as I said earlier, we had a very active YouTube chat going on during the discussion period. So that sparked some interest in folks. So we thank everybody for participating in that. And then we got a tweet from Rob H. last week or 2 weeks ago show. Said Rob H. said, great show this week. Just watched it. The breaks were hilarious. Happy birthday. Keep getting great guests. And he gave us a suggestion. P.S. Bud bottles. So there we go.
Bud Light?
I'm
Or
guessing.
Budweiser.
He's a distributor. Come on.
Probably is. We'll do it.
You know what? Hey, if you send them to us for free, we'll put all the Bud bottles on the show.
That's right. There we go.
Brady, you'll keep them on his shelf unopened, right? But
Oh my god! You know what?
That's right.
Next time we get together, I challenge you to drink off, man. Let's go.
Oh, that'll be great.
Let's
Outside.
go. And
Brady is
I'll
always
be
golf.
Dina's
You'll be
drink.
puking
Dina's
up.
drink specifically.
what are you
Oh
picking
my
on senior
God.
citizens too? What's going on?
Seniors. Oh my.
Yeah, good one. All right, so that I think that about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast and our Stormfront Freaks Raw. So thanks for listening and watching. And again, guys, if you enjoy the show, please leave us a review on your Apple Podcasts app. And the other thing too is if you do that, I mentioned this on another episode. We want to reward you if you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and leave your Twitter handle. I'll follow up with you and we'll send you an MP3 of our opening song to our show because we've heard that some people have used it on their telephone
as a ringtone.
On their cell phone.
Nice.
You used
What
to
about
call
a
me
Brady-
on my cell phone.
Brady cat calendar.
When you need
And Brady will send you a
call
cat
me on my
calendar.
cell phone.
And that's beautiful. Remember to subscribe on your podcast app of choice so you get the latest content the minutes it's released. Special thanks to our guest today, Conor Clancy. Our next episode. So here's our next episode in 2 weeks. It's on June 15th, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. We'll be with hurricane chaser and creator of hurricanetrack.com, Mark Suddeth, is going to be on. And guys, this is awesome.
Nice.
He's the guy that does a lot of the cams, the web broadcast cams and sensors. When a hurricane is coming, he travels the coast, puts out these cameras, and companies like the Weather Channel and stream his videos of live hurricanes as well. So we got him coming on. It's perfect because I think today, June 1st, officially started.
That's it.
The official hurricane season.
job.
So go to stormfrontfreaks.com or our YouTube channel if you want to watch that live. So for MJ, Maz, Brady, and Dina, I'm going to go ahead and signal the all clear, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye. Can't take him anywhere.
I don't even know what you're singing. I don't even know.
What?
Is he playing the
I
recorder?
don't win that. How'd I be?
You are
Is
your
it
own
Justin
man.
Bieber?
Thank you to our YouTube viewers.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
was
We love you guys.
Okay,
We really do. We have a great time. I hope you do too.
Being a social media expert, the Welch, I would think that you know what that song is.
I'm teasing you.
Okay, good.
I was teasing. I had to tease you a little bit more for the Jar Jar Binks thing.
Oh my